I want to make you a bet. I bet that by the time this video ends, roughly 13 to 14 minutes from now, you will have everything you need to open an investment account, choose the right S&P 500 fund, and make your first purchase. Everything. Not a partial explanation. Not a go do your own research. The whole thing. And the actual process of doing it, opening the account, linking your bank, buying the fund, takes about 20 minutes. I timed it. Now, if you have been wanting to learn how to invest in the S&P 500 in 2026, and you keep putting it off because it feels complicated, I want you to know something. It is not complicated. The financial industry has a vested interest in making you believe it is complicated because complicated people pay for advice. Simple people invest on their own and keep more of their returns. This video is going to make it simple. My name is ARB. This is the arbitrage. Let's start the clock. Before we open any account, I need to make sure you understand exactly what you are buying, because a lot of people invest in the S&P 500 for years without being able to explain what it actually is. And if you do not know what you own, you will panic sell the first time the market drops 15%. That panic sell will cost you more money than any other mistake you could make. So, what is it? The S&P 500 is not a stock. It is a list. It is a list of the 500 largest publicly traded companies in the United States, maintained by S&P Global. Companies get added when they grow large enough and meet certain criteria. They get removed when they shrink or delist. The list updates automatically. You never have to manage it. When you buy an S&P 500 index fund, you are buying a tiny ownership stake in every single company on that list simultaneously. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, Berkshire Hathaway, Google, Meta, all of them, in proportion to their size. Right now, the top 10 companies in the S&P 500 make up approximately 35% of the index. The other 490 companies make up the remaining 65%. Your investment is automatically diversified across every major sector of the American economy, technology, healthcare, finance, consumer goods, energy, and utilities, without you making a single individual stock decision. Here is the number that matters most. Since 1957, the S&P 500 has returned an average of 10.5% per year. Not every year. Some years it goes up 25%. Some years it drops 30%. But averaged across all the years, recessions, crashes, wars, pandemics, inflation spikes, political turmoil, the average annual return has been 10.5%. $10,000 invested in 1974 would be worth approximately $1.3 million today. That is not a prediction. That is a historical fact. Warren Buffett, the most successful investor in American history, has said publicly that when he dies, he wants 90% of his wife's inheritance invested in a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. Not individual stocks, not hedge funds, not real estate, an index fund. That is the asset you are about to buy. So if the S&P 500 has returned 10.5% per year for nearly 70 years, and the most successful investor alive recommends it, and it takes 20 minutes to set up, why does only about 57% of America own any stock at all? Why are millions of people with disposable income still sitting on cash savings earning 4% while the index earns more than double that over any long window? 3 reasons. And once I name them, you are going to recognize at least one of them in yourself. Because I am going to dismantle all 3 before I start the walkthrough. Mental block 1. It feels too complicated. This one is entirely manufactured. The financial services industry spends billions of dollars annually, creating the impression that investing requires expertise, constant monitoring, and professional guidance. It does not. A low-cost S&P 500 index fund requires exactly 0 expertise to buy, 0 monitoring to manage, and 0 professional guidance to hold. The complication is marketing. The product itself is a form you fill out and a button you press. Mental block 2. Waiting for the right time to buy.
This is the single most expensive mistake new investors make, and it feels rational. You think, the market is high right now. I will wait for a dip. Then a dip comes and you think it might drop further. Then it recovers and you have missed it. And the cycle continues indefinitely. There is an informative study from Charles Schwab that ran every possible version of this scenario. They compared 5 hypothetical investors over 20 years. The perfect market timer, who bought at every annual low. The person who invested immediately on January 1 every year. The person who spread investments equally across the year. The person who always waited and bought at the annual high. And the person who never invested at all and stayed in cash. The results? The perfect timer finished with $151,000. The immediate investor finished with $135,000. The person who always bought at the worst time finished with $121,000. The person in cash finished with $44,000. The difference between perfect timing and the worst possible timing over 20 years was $30,000. The cost of staying in cash was $91,000 in missed growth. Waiting for the right time is almost always more expensive than the wrong time. Mental block 3. I do not have enough money to start. Fidelity's FXAIX, one of the best S&P 500 funds available anywhere, has a $0 minimum investment. You can buy $1 of it right now. Fractional shares are supported. There is no entry fee, no account minimum, and no minimum transaction size. The belief that you need a large sum to start investing is a myth from the era when mutual funds required $3,000 minimums. That era ended. The excuse no longer exists. Before we open the account, you need to know which fund you're buying. There are dozens of S&P 500 funds. You need to care about exactly 3 things: the expense ratio, the broker availability, and whether fractional shares are supported. Here are the 4 names you will encounter and a clear, plain English verdict on each. FXAIX, Fidelity 500 Index Fund. Expense ratio 0.015%. Minimum $0. Only available on Fidelity. This is the best option for beginners opening their first account.
Fidelity's platform is clean, modern, and beginner-friendly. Auto-invest in dollar amounts works perfectly with FXAIX. If you have no existing brokerage account, this is where you go. VOO, Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. Expense ratio 0.03%. Minimum. Price of 1 share. Approximately $540 in 2026. The gold standard for taxable brokerage accounts. Marginally better tax efficiency than FXAIX due to its ETF structure. If you already have a Vanguard or Fidelity account and you are investing in a taxable account rather than a Roth IRA, VOO is your fund. IVV, iShares Core S and P500 ETF. Expense ratio 0.03%. Available everywhere. Functionally identical to VOO. Choose IVV if your broker does not carry VOO, or if you prefer BlackRock's platform. Performance difference versus VOO over 10 years, essentially zero. SPY, SPDRS, and P500 ETF Trust. Expense ratio 0.0945%, the most traded ETF on Earth. Do not use SPY for long-term investing. It was designed for institutional traders who need extreme liquidity for short-term positions. Its expense ratio is 3 times higher than VOO for the same index. On $100,000 invested over 30 years, SPY costs you approximately $12,000 more than FXAIX. There is no justification for a long-term investor to choose SPY over its cheaper alternatives. The decision rule: if you are opening a new account today, use Fidelity and buy FXAIX. If you already have a brokerage account elsewhere, buy VOO or IVV. Ignore SPY, unless you are an active trader. All right, timer is running. Let's go. I am going to walk you through opening a Fidelity account and buying FXAIX. If you are following along in real time, open fidelity.com in a separate tab right now. If you are watching this for the walkthrough and planning to do it afterward, pay close attention to each step so you know exactly what to expect. Step 1. Go to fidelity.com and click Open an Account. Estimated time, 30 seconds. You will be asked what type of account you want to open. For most people watching this video, the right choice is a Roth IRA, a tax-advantaged retirement account where your money grows completely tax-free. If you already have a Roth IRA somewhere else and you are starting a general investment account, choose individual brokerage account. If you are unsure, choose Roth IRA. You can always open additional accounts later. The Roth IRA is where your first S&P 500 investment should live. Step 2. Fill in your personal information. Estimated time, 4 minutes. Full legal name, social security number, date of birth, address, phone number, and email. Fidelity is a regulated financial institution. They are required by law to verify your identity. This is standard. This is not optional. Every legitimate brokerage in the United States requires the same information. Have your social security number ready. The form takes 3 to 4 minutes if you have everything in front of you. You will also be asked about your employment status, annual income, and net worth. These are informational. They do not determine whether you can open the account. Answer honestly and move on. Step 3. Link your bank account. Estimated time, 3 minutes. Fidelity will ask you to link a checking or savings account for funding. You can do this by entering your bank's routing number and account number or by using the instant verification option. Once linked, Fidelity will make 2 small test deposits to your bank account within 1 to 2 business days to confirm the connection. Some accounts are verified instantly. Step 4. Make your initial deposit. Estimated time, 1 minute. How much you deposit is entirely up to you. The account minimum is $0. You can start with $25, $100, $500, or whatever amount you are comfortable beginning with today. The most important thing about this number is not its size. The most important thing is that you press confirm. Starting with $100 today and building from there is infinitely better than waiting until you have $10,000 and starting next year. Remember the Charles Schwab study. The cost of waiting is always higher than the cost of starting small. Search for FXAIX and buy. Once your account is open and funded, or once your deposit is pending, go to the search bar at the top of Fidelity's platform and type FXAIX. Select it from the results. Click Buy. You will see options to buy in dollars or in shares. Choose dollars. Enter your amount. Select your account, the Roth IRA you just opened. Review the order. Confirm. That is it. You have just bought the S&P 500. You are now invested in 500 of the largest companies in the world simultaneously. The timer stopped at approximately 12 minutes. The 20-minute promise had 8 minutes of buffer. Set up automatic monthly investing. This is the step that separates the investors who build wealth from the ones who buy once and forget. Go to Fidelity's automatic investments feature. Select your Roth IRA. Select FXAIX. Choose your monthly dollar amount, choose your date, and confirm. Every month from now on, Fidelity pulls your chosen amount from your linked bank account and buys FXAIX automatically. You do not have to log in. You do not have to make a decision. You do not have to remember. The investment happens whether you think about it or not. This automation is the single most powerful behavioral finance tool available to a retail investor. You are invested. Now I need to tell you the 4 things that will determine whether you actually build wealth from this point forward. Because buying the fund is the easy part. Holding it correctly is where most people fail. Turn on dividend reinvestment immediately. The S&P 500 pays dividends. You want them automatically reinvested into more shares of FXAIX. This single setting adds measurably to your long-term return. Do not check your portfolio every day. Increase your contribution with every salary raise. Never sell during a market drop. The S&P 500 has recovered from every single correction, crash, recession, and crisis in its history. Every single one. The only investors who turned a temporary drop into a permanent loss were the ones who sold. Let's land this. You came into this video not knowing how to invest in the S&P 500 in 2026. You are leaving it with the account open, the fund selected, the first purchase made or clearly mapped, and the automatic investment scheduled. If this video moved you from curious to invested, subscribe. I went through every major index fund available to American investors in 2026, pulled the performance data, checked the expense ratios, and ranked them. No sponsor, no agenda. Just the verdict. I will see you there.